Welcome back, everybody, and I am joined with a very special guest. We have Rob from Vanderpump Robs.
Hello. I'm glad to be here. I'm very excited. We had a lot of fun when you came on my podcast recently to talk about Jackson Brittany's wedding. It feels like an eternity ago.
I know. So now you're on my podcast to talk about their divorce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or
we got a big switch.
Soon to be, we might have a cliffhanger divorce for an entire third season. Who knows?
I know. And before we start recapping the episode, we'll just say that Jax is not returning for season 3. So do you think he left, or do you think they're giving him the grace of saying he left, but he was really fired?
Well, I think it's somewhere in the middle. Like, it's pretty clear that when Bravo doesn't want you back, they tell you, like, well, you can say that you're leaving, but we're not renewing your contract, or whatever legalese they want to use. I find it interesting and cleverly worded that in the article in Variety that came out, Jax is specifically taking a season off. And so I think I think he rustled a lot of feathers. I think he's a liability. And I think they said, look, we're not firing you, but you can come back in season 4, maybe.
He's like in timeout.
Yeah, timeout. And he needs to be treated like a child when he's acting like a child,
Yeah.
And I think this actually is it's evil, but it's a very smart, evil move by the producers to say, okay, we're going to get 4 seasons out of this show. We're going to set something up in season 3 so that when Jax comes back, it's like a huge deal, hopefully. My theory is bring on Sandoval, and then they fight in season 4 when he comes back for like number 1 guy in the group.
Oh my God. That would be crazy. Well, do you think also so he's leaving for at least the season. Do you think that means that Scheana and Lala will be more full-time?
Look, I think that like a lot of people want to say, I don't want Scheana, I don't want Lala on the show. And they really like pulled the wool over our eyes. They tried to make us think that they were going to be like full cast members this season, and they're not. They're friends of at most, but I can't see Lala coming in. I just don't think Lala fits into this group very well. And Scheana, like, I guess in the Vanderpump Rules universe, fits into this group a little bit better. But with all of the, like, quote unquote tea she's spilling about Lisa Vanderpump, I wonder, in her book that comes out in a couple of days, I wonder if this is her like saying goodbye to it. Like, I can't imagine that's true, but Lisa Vanderpump's a producer on this show. I don't, and Lisa's very, so like a part of me thinks that like Scheana would fit in better in season 3 than Lala would. But Scheana seems to be going a little scorched earth with the book. So I don't really know. I would rather be Scheana than Lala, but I don't know what they're doing with this show. I'm so frustrated with the Valley, quite honestly.
Oh, you are? Oh, yeah. Explain more.
Well, in season 1, and people who have listened to my podcast, actually, before I go into this, because this will be juicy and this will be talking worthy, do you mind if I put a quick PSA out to the people?
Yes.
So I just took my podcast, Vanderpump Robs, independent. I was on a network, and now I am solely in control of everything that happens to the show. But in that transfer, something happened and glitched with Apple, and I lost all of my followers, ratings, and reviews.
Oh, no.
So if people go and listen to our episode that we recorded, And if they like it, I hope that they find the kindness in their heart to give me a 5-star rating and review. But after, of course, they give Bravo T with a stay-at-home mom a 5-star written review on Apple as well. See,
Everyone go give us the 5
yes,
stars.
yes. And if you don't want to give 5 stars, if you're like, you know what, I think I'm going to give them 3 and tell them why. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just instead go leave 5 stars on a podcast you do want to give 5 stars to. Like, you'll feel better giving 5 stars to someone than not. So that's my PSA. I'm building from the ground up again. Now I'll get into my Valley stuff. Can you tell I'm in panic mode with my podcast?
No,
anyway.
That was like, remember when I was on yours, I talked about my TikTok?
Oh,
it's like the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. We've been through it. Okay, so season 1 of The Valley, I was really excited because, look, I know Jax is a total trash bag, but he was fun. And I know what I'm getting out of Jax, right? I know he's a jerk and he's a good villain. He's done reprehensible things, but like, no surprises, right? I at least know I'm going to get a show with a good villain. And we're getting Kristen, who's just like made for reality TV as well.
True.
And not as much of a like psychotic person as Jax. So we get 2 good pot stirrers in the Valley. And then Janet ostracizes Kristen in season 1, so we don't get Kristen through like a majority of the episodes. So I'm like,
which I hated that.
Yeah, little letdown season 1. We'll bring it back in season 2. Well, then in season 2, Jax goes to a facility, so we get him in like no episodes in season 2 either. And when we do, he's a terrifying person in like the first couple episodes that like shouldn't be working in television and actively triggering the audience, a strong portion of it. And then we get him towards this episode, he's kind of back in the fold again, but it's a little too late when it comes to the season as itself. So like, it's an uphill battle. This is like, what is it? Summer House. It wasn't until season 3 that they was like, okay, bring on Paige, bring on Hannah. Like, we're going to really revamp
It's so real, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Jesse and Michelle aren't lying about their divorce. Brittany and Jax aren't lying about their divorce. And now she's like exposing his addiction. She's like, I don't know why I lied all this time. So I'm like, this is like real. This is not made up crap that some of these shows get into.
Yeah, and I think some stuff's made up, but it is like this is real in a way that I do not think showrunners and producers are handling it ethically. Like, I don't think they have the capacity to actually deal with real stuff. They know how to deal with like high school drama. Oh, he slept with her, she slept with, they're talking behind your back, and make a show out of it. But when it's like verbal abuse, financial abuse, like real life divorces, like they don't know what they're doing, and it's actually a detriment.
It's like, what if Brittany really got a restraining order on Jax? They obviously couldn't film together.
Exactly. But I mean, Brittany would never do that 'cause she's in a codependent relationship with him. I want the best for her, but like, God, yeah, they need to be away from each other. But they're going to get back together, I think. And
you do?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I don't, only because sometimes these people, like, let's say she wasn't on TV, maybe she would get back with him. But I think these people in the back of their brain are like, I can't because I will be publicly scrutinized if I get back with him, so I have to not do that.
But how much of that has she already been through with like Faith and Lala and all of the rumors about Jack? She's been.
I know. I guess all that was before they were married officially, and then before they had a kid.
True. The other, like, this is a real stretch, but I have heard rumors that Brittany is also not going to be back next season.
Really? I hope she is, because, like, I mean, if we have to pick people to leave, like Janet.
Oh, well, and here's the other thing.
No one likes her.
We'll recap the episode at some point, I know.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't like Janet either. I don't like how she's been moving.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't deny that she's being a Kristen Doty level pot stirrer.
But she needs to like
And
wait in line to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like
yeah,
Kristen and Jax have earned their right and are kind of the stars. And I feel like she is like, oh well, let me do it too, so I can be just as popular as them. And the fangirl stuff is making me start to think about how she deliberately met Scheana.
100%. But if I put on my jaunty executive producer's cap for a moment, people are talking about Janet as much, if not more, than Jax.
And it's true.
And why would you ever let someone go that's generating like hate clicks on your show, right? Like this is like people aren't going to stop watching because of Janet as much as they may say they are, but they
I
love to
know.
hate Janet and they love to be able to call out on that stuff. And so I don't think from a television standpoint Janet's going anywhere.
And we all kind of need like that one person on the show
Yeah.
to not like. Like back in the day for Jersey, my perfect one was like Danielle Stop. I'm like, let's just keep her as the villain because I like everyone else.
Yeah.
And that we need someone to fight with everybody.
Yep.
But you want it to be someone like you don't like.
Yeah, and I think the arc with Janet is she's going to learn how disingenuous she looks in all of this and how she is just like trying to
Mm-hmm.
manufacture herself in a perfect, maybe not perfect, but in this like type of character role where I do no wrong, but I'll be a quote truth teller to everyone else. And what that means is like when you're getting into
Yeah.
other people's business, nobody wants to share their business with you. And I think that's what we're going to get from Janet.
Yeah.
Like maybe the next season or two is like the come to Jesus moment that like you've dug a grave for yourself and you're really lame. And because my theory is she wants to be Jess from the New Girl, right? Like she's like quirky and weird and
Yeah.
silly, but she's starting. You can't do that and make everyone hate you and
Well, when she
expect.
starts coming for
Yeah.
like Danny and Nia, which
Oh.
I think they're a cute little
Mm-hmm.
couple. Like, okay, so what? He was drinking tequila in the closet. Like, if he wanted to do that in private, he wouldn't do it in front of you. And it's
Yeah.
like they're all drinking, and
Yeah.
he probably never drinks at home. He has
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
So it's probably like, oh, let me drink on this vacation. And they're making it seem like he has like a problem. I didn't like that.
I
And
don't like
then
that either.
the sexual assault thing now, it's like, whoa, let's.
Well, and that's a really like obviously a delicate line to walk, but regardless of what it is categorized as, it is 100% not anything Janet has anything to do with except
Mm-hmm.
she is on a TV show with the same people.
Right.
If Jasmine and Melissa would like to pursue legal action or anything further, that is a Jasmine and Melissa issue. But to me, it seems like Danny has done what he needs to do and requested to do, and maybe he didn't do it as well as he needed to. Like maybe he tried to avoid the issue. Then when it was pressed, he did it on camera. When it was pressed again, he openly admitted it. They talk about all the therapy they're trying to go through, the couples therapy, solo therapy. Like at a certain point, for a TV show, the story's been told. So
Yeah.
Janet bringing it back up is not like the exclamation point that Janet thinks it is. When
Right.
when Melissa stands up on that boat and is like, "Can you all stop talking about my personal life? I will
Yeah.
deal with that." I was like, "Thank God," because Janet, you are deflecting from so much shit right now. But once
I
again,
know.
we're talking about Janet because of it.
But the thing I'm starting to hate is I like Jason, but then obviously in true marriage form, you're supposed to have your spouse's back. So now it's like he's making me mad
Yep.
because he's like getting with Janet's kooky ideas.
Well, what I did like is on the proposal episode when Janet's like, "Oh, we're not going to go. This is now Kristen's party." Jason's like, "Wait,
Mm-hmm.
so what are you talking about? Like, we're still on vacation. Like, just because
Yeah.
one thing happened doesn't mean everything we've planned is for not. Like, he's like, this is too much. So he'll at least push back to an
Yeah,
extent.
yeah.
But you're totally right. Like, he's uh, he's he knows who he married, and she knows who she married, and it's really becoming crystal clear this season.
Well, and it's like he's like probably thinking, "Hello, Janet. We're on quote unquote vacation, but we're
Yeah,
also like working." So like I
yeah,
don't think the Bravo producers are like, "Oh, okay, Janet, you lay in bed for the rest of the trip. You don't have
oh
to
yeah.
do anything. We paid for you to be here, but you do what you want." It's like, "No, girl, get up the next day and do what you're assigned to do."
Well, in the next episode, they don't talk about that at all, and Janet's on the boat, and that's when the whole
Yeah,
fight
cuz I bet
happens.
they told her unless there was a threatening
Yeah,
incident,
yeah,
like you're going on that boat
yeah. If
because
you would like
you're
to get
working.
paid
Yeah.
for your time here in Maui and the hotel comped and everything that
Hmm.
we agreed to, then you have to show up to film. Sorry,
Yeah.
like this has nothing to do with anything else. You just are trying to make a stand to make Kristen feel worse. That's really what it is. She's like,
Well, and
oh,
like how gross too. Like it's
yeah,
like, yeah, this is her engagement, and this is why they did come on the trip. But also, they would have done a cast trip anyway without
yep,
this engagement. But like,
yep,
it's like Janet was mad that now the trip turned into Kristen's engagement. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess it would be okay if Michelle and Bug-eyed Aaron got engaged.
yeah,
Like, and then Jesse would
exactly.
have to be there, like the ex-husband.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's because it's not about that. It's about Kristen, like Janet, not being able to let Kristen have a win because they're fighting, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's
And it's
all
like
it
at the
is.
end of the day, we're all going to pick Kristen because we've been with her longer.
Yeah, the
She
audience
was on
picks
Vanderpump
Kristen,
Rules.
and that is such a like turn too, right? Like there would have been a time where no one would have picked Kristen. And
Yeah,
so it
she came a
really,
long way.
yeah, and it says something to be like, Janet, we're picking Kristen over you.
Yeah.
Like, sit with that for a moment and
Yes.
realize you you can still turn it around, lady. Like, you can still make it work. You got another season in you. Come
And
on.
sometimes that's what happens, like, especially with, like, I don't know if you watch Orange County, but that just started, like, Tamra every season will start off apologizing to everyone because she knows she
Uh-huh.
has to film all season with them. And
Uh-huh.
then once we get into the season, she starts getting nasty with them. And then she apologizes next season. And then it's like, that's when I start to not like certain people because I'm like, you're just apologizing to film with them. You're being fake.
Yeah. And like, look, I know to an extent these things are like not necessarily scripted, but they're like staged. Like we know that they're gonna film at the doggy groomer, and these people are gonna talk about the upcoming dinner. Like I get how TV is made, but
Hmm.
these are too big of personalities for them to not like be calculated in certain ways. And you know we can talk more about that when we get to the Scheana stuff. But like at a certain point, they need to stop trying to like make themselves memeable and
Hmm.
just make a show. Like just live
Just
your life and
live.
make the show. That's
Yeah.
all we want. Nothing will ever compare to Vanderpump Rules, you know, season 1 and 2. But if you actually put yourself back in that mindset, you might make another season like that again.
Hmm. I
Instead
agree.
of worrying all the time about how people are going to see you.
I agree. Let's get into the Sheena stuff before we recap the show. So
Okay.
I have the timeline. 2019, Sheena and Brock begin dating. 2020, Sheena and Brock move in together. June 2020, Sheena suffers a miscarriage. October 2020, Sheena announces pregnancy with Summer Moon. End of 2020, Brock has an affair. And like, ew, who's mingling with strangers during COVID?
It
April
so gross.
2021, Summer Moon is born. August 2021, Sheena and Brock secretly get married so Brock gets his green card.
Mhm.
August 2022, Sheena and Brock have a filmed wedding in Mexico despite already being legally married. March 2023, Scandival breaks. 1 month later, in April, Brock decides then is a perfect time to tell Sheena that he cheated on her almost 3 years ago. Then June 2023 to May 2024, the last season of VPR comes out. So Scheana and Brock are already like, knowing about this affair. And then November 2024, entire cast gets cut. January 2025, Scheana announces she'll be writing a book. April 2025, The Valley season 2 starts. Scheana and Brock are on it. They don't mention one word of this affair. So just to pinpoint, when her and Lala were saying that Ariana had to be filming with Sandoval or doing this and doing that, here she is knowing that Brock had an affair. Or when they say, oh, like, I live my real life, like Lala said something like that. Well, obviously you're not, because then Lala said she knew about the affair. I don't know how long. But Scheana, why didn't you tell us this on your reality television show that you're supposed to be telling us everything?
It's look, Scheana has a lot of peaks and valleys, but I think Scheana makes great television. Her problem is she wants to be liked by everyone. So much so that she's liked by no one, right? In the audience, it's painting with the widest brush possible. And the problem here is what I talked about with like self-production, right? You can tell Scheana is desperate to not let this get out on camera. And it's coming out in ways that honestly make her look so much worse, right? The jealousy, what seems to be jealousy of Ariana, what seems to be this like, I'm still friends with Sandoval. Like, look, she could be jealous of Ariana and still struggle with like wanting to recoup a friendship with Sandoval. That's real shit, right? Like, I've had friends who have cheated on people in the past, and I don't cut them out of my life, right? I would have a conversation with them like Scheana did and be like, this sucks, and I'm not going to like lie for you, but you need to like figure your shit out, right? That happened. But the way this like guilt and her doom scrolling and her like obsession with comics or comments, and then we learn that she has postpartum OCD and all of these things, and like, oh well, maybe Brock will cheat on me, and it's like she might have postpartum OCD. I'm not saying she doesn't, but the Brock cheating on her thing now makes
it's like
so
he
much
already
more
did.
sense.
It's like he already did.
You're worried that it's going to happen again.
And when he cheated while pregnant, as a mom of two, I really personally don't think I could ever get past my husband cheating, but I certainly couldn't get past if he cheated on me while I'm home pregnant with our child.
That's insane.
Insane.
And look, Brock is probably a fun guy to be at a barbecue with, right?
Yeah.
He'll probably, give you a soda, give you a pat on the back, chit chat with you, be positive. But we cannot deny Brock's past. We cannot deny that he has kids he's not allowed to see, a partner that does not like him. He is a man without a job. Jobs don't make people, but if Scheana is going to be the breadwinner of the family, maybe you owe her the respect of not cheating on her regardless, but you owe her even more knowing that like you owe your entire livelihood to this person and you're still willing to throw it away for like a few one night stands with a gym partner.
I know, and like what gym was he going to? Because in California, I feel like everything was more closed, more so than everywhere else in the United States. So it's like, where were you meeting people?
Yeah, I'd like a few more details on this. Hopefully the chapter's extended in the book.
But and see, I think that's why she did it too.
Yeah.
Like, are you waiting to tell us now so we'll all buy your book so we'll read it? Shitty. Like, real shitty.
The thing, there's always going to be some sort of like promotion for a book, and I'm not sure. I was talking with a literary agent the other day, and like, to me, I kept going down this rabbit hole of, well, is she like giving away all the juice? Like, why would you buy the book if this is the biggest story out of it now? And they reminded me that not everyone thinks like a Bravo podcaster. And they're like, this might be the thing that actually gets people to buy the book. Like
For sure.
and I was thinking like, oh, maybe this is the biggest thing, you know, but other people don't always think that way. So if this is only a small piece of drama, I can't wait to see what else she has to say. But unfortunately, if it's in the pattern of any other Bravo Celebrities books, it's going to be a very light lift with a couple of pieces of tea that are going to be hard to substantiate anyway. So I'm not looking forward to it by any means.
I'm curious about like all the Lisa stuff and like, yeah, if you still want to be on the Valley, why are you shitting on Lisa?
Yeah, and also like how much do you actually shit on Lisa versus a headline in Us Weekly, right?
Yeah.
Like Lisa
Oh, I
Vanderpump
saw that she did Us Weekly.
she like exploited my real life to make a TV show. It's like
It's
you
like
are
you
not
signed
unique
up for
here.
that.
Like this is what
Yeah.
Bravo is. This isn't special. And so that's why I think like I didn't read the article. It's Us Weekly, whatever. But like that headline is painting a picture that makes Scheana sound stupid.
But it's like no
And
one made you do the reality TV either. Do you know
no,
what
but
I
I mean,
mean?
I
I
also think
hate
if
it
I'm
when they
like
all kind of
23 or
act like that.
24 years old and someone's like, want to be on TV, it's a good way to make $5,000 for 8 episodes, I would have probably jumped on it too. But after years and years and years of seeing how these shows are made, like, no one's exploiting you at this point. Like, if you were truly devastated, like, I just think there's a lot of rationalizing going on here. A lot of
Hmm.
like, well, I'm going to rewrite history a little bit to make it sound better now. It's like Lala's book. Lala's book is complete fan fiction of her entire life. It's like this is how I want to be, and so I'm going to write it. But I think a intuitive reader can look at this and go, well, that's bullshit. This is not who you are in the slightest. And I have a feeling a little bit of that's probably happening with Sheena's book too.
Yeah, and I feel like Sheena was like, "Oh, Lala has a book. I'll have a book too."
Yeah. Well, I mean, good for Sheena though to like wait. You know, like Lala's
Yeah.
book was obviously chasing the Stassi book because she always wanted to be
Hmm.
Stassi. Sheena at least is like, you know what? I'm not on Vanderpump Rules anymore. Who knows if I'm going to be on the Valley? Now's the time to tell my whole story. And whether or not she does that, I don't know. But, uh, you know, I give her credit for that.
So her little book tour, she's coming to Philly, and I was like, "Oh, I would go." And one of my friends was like, "Oh, I'll go with you." Tickets for the last row. And mind you, I just bought my BravoCon stuff, just
Yeah.
added on stuff for BravoCon. $130 to sit in the last row for Sheena's thing. And you don't
Whoa.
meet her or anything. And I'm
You
like,
don't even get
she's
a meet and
not
greet?
going to see me from the back row. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if she did, who are you? You know what I mean to her, like,
Yeah.
right?
But I was like, oh, like I would only go if I could be close. It was cheap and I could
Yeah.
possibly stand up and like ask the question. Like I saw
Yes.
Vicky and Shannon last spring with my friend in Florida, and it was real small and I was so close I got to stand up and ask a
That
question.
feels like you're in something with
Yeah.
them.
And it was like $50, mind you. So that was
Does
like okay.
does Sheena's ticket even come with a book?
No. So then it's like, oh well, I'd have to buy the book to even understand the book to go to the
Why
book
why
thing.
would you
That's hefty.
$130? That is, I can't imagine that. It's like when people were spending like $50 to go see like Britney at City Winery and all she did was go, "Hey y'all, let's have some fun tonight." You know,
I'm
like
gonna take
why?
some tequila shots.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh.
But see, like 50, I'm like, okay, that's still like a lot. You're not really doing anything. But like, I would have maybe done that for Scheana, but
Yeah.
130, no, girl, bye.
Yeah. I'm looking up Sheena's in coming to Azusa, you know, her hometown.
Yeah, how much
Um
is that?
I'm gonna find it here real quick.
I'm ready for the Philly tickets to like go on sale though, because no everyone will say the same thing as me and be like, I'm not paying that, and then it'll be like bargain priced, and then maybe I would go.
I know. I'm trying to.
But that's about the only way I would.
Uh, I have to. I'll find
Oh,
it
and
and I'll
Brock is
report
going
back.
on the whole tour with her. So
Oh
now when
God.
I was listening to this before, she said the affair, and I'm like, well, of course he has to go on the whole tour with you because you're probably panicked he's going to cheat. I just think it's crazy. Like, he married her for the green card. He obviously married her, I'm sorry, because she's on TV. And
Well.
Scheana was always like desperate for male attention, like watching all the old episodes, how she handled the thing with Max and Brett, and then that Rob guy, and then that even other guy that she bought that penguin for. Like, it was like Sheena's always
Adam.
been a little desperate. Oh, yeah, Adam. So Brock was probably like giving her attention, but it's probably because he wanted, to slip in. So I'm like real blown away he cheated because he could have ruined that all.
Yeah. Uh it's we may never know, but I really hope Sheena like ends up getting a life that she's completely happy with, because no matter
Mm-hmm.
what, this is always going to be in the back of the mind with Brock, because Brock is, I just can't even imagine doing that to someone you loved, because it
I
doesn't sound
know.
like he loves her if he's going to do that. And
And Lala and Brittany are proof that, like, okay, you have a baby, but like you don't have to stay together.
no, if
But
someone
Sheena reminds
disrespects
me
you,
of that.
yeah. Yeah.
She'll like stay with him because they have a kid.
Ugh. Ugh.
And now this kind of makes more sense why they don't have another one.
Well, for sure. Well, she'll spoil Summer Moon, and Summer Moon will have a great life.
Yeah, I'm an only child, so like it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll get into recapping the episode. So we open it up with Jasmine showing Danny and Nia. So this is why I know Jasmine isn't mad at Danny anymore. That little shed that's 1.1 million. This is why. So I'm from Delaware. I know the housing market has gone up, but obviously we're in LA. Like, stuff is crazy. That's why he wants to move to Santa Clarita,
Yep.
because he's like, I'm not buying this shed for 1.1 million. That house wouldn't even fit all of their children. So he's
No.
probably like, I'm not gonna spend that kind of money. It's crazy.
I I am so frustrated with this. Like the Santa Clarita storyline pretty much ended in season 1. We're not even talking about it at all in season 2 until this episode. A couple of scenes at their condo where they're like, "Oh yeah, we need more space, especially if we're going to have
Yeah.
another kid." And so in the second to last episode, arguably the episode where you're supposed to have the most drama before a resolution and cliffhanger in the finale, why are we repeating a storyline that we already know the end of? They're not going to move into a place that's smaller than their condo.
Yeah,
Like,
which
why are
is
we even
crazy.
wasting time? This is, it was not off to a good start for me. I'll tell you that.
I know. And I think they did it though to get, because like, I forgot Jasmine was a real estate agent. I think they did it
Same.
to get her alone with them so they could talk about the whole Janet thing.
Which was
Jasmine
what,
is mad.
15 seconds of this whole scene?
But that was when Nia said she's the Voldemort of the
Yeah.
Valley. Am I saying it right? I'm not a Harry Potter fan or
No,
whatever.
you're probably better off not being a Harry Potter person. But yeah, Voldemort of of the Valley.
Yeah.
And
So
but of
a
course then Janet
little
leaned into
trolling.
that and made her
Oh, I know.
profile picture her as Voldemort, which oh god.
Like, again,
She
being a fangirl, because it's like you're doing something somebody said and acting
yeah.
like a fan a little bit.
Well, it's like Janet also saying jokes about the show that were written on Instagram during season 1, right?
Yeah, or like calling
Saying,
Kristen crazy Kristen. Like, don't do
or
that.
like saying Zach has Lego hair. It's like, okay, we're already like, you know what, Janet? That's very chuggy. I'm gonna put put it out there.
Well, yeah, it's like that's supposed to be your friend. Like, we
Yeah,
make fun of these people sometimes because like they're not our friend.
yeah, and also like just come up with your own shit. Like with when you pull from the internet over a year old, like jokes that are over a year old, like it doesn't sound like you're being genuine at all. You just like trying to move the needle based on what you think the fans will like.
Yeah, and it's like we actually don't like you for it, so don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is when Janet goes over to Sheena's house and complains about Kristen, and I'm like, girl, you have some nerve to complain about Kristen. And then Scheana complained about Kristen. She's like, well, this is what she does. She latches on to the most popular girl. I'm like, really? This is what you tried to do on Vanderpump Rules. And you would know because you're rewatching all of it. She always wanted to be friends with Stassi and Katie. She would cry if she wasn't. I mean, I just can't believe Sheena's saying that about Kristen. Kristen kind of beat it to her own drum and actually didn't leech onto people. Like, Scheana was the leech.
Yeah, well, and even if Scheana wasn't, like, this doesn't ring true for Kristen at all. You're right. She always like marched to the beat of her own drum, and
Mm-hmm.
although she had moments where she like felt left out or wanted to be a part of the group or witches of WeHo wine or things like
Yeah.
that, but no one was ever going to make Kristen do anything, and Kristen was never going to like beg Stassi really for anything. Like, it's so weird to say that she latches herself on because she actively doesn't. Even in season
Yeah.
one, she like takes Jax's side in the breakup between Jax and Stassi.
Yeah. And back then, she would get sad about being left out with Katie and Stassi because those were really her friends before the show.
Yeah,
Sheena was
and
like
Katie,
lumped
like,
in.
yeah, Peter Madrigal told me once that before they started filming, there was no Witches of WeHo. It was the Twisted Sisters, and it was Katie and Kristen. So then when they started filming and Katie started hanging out with Stassi more, that this like makes so much more sense that like, oh, it was Katie and Kristen, and then Stassi like broke that up, and so now it's kind of this trio. It reads a lot different now when you know that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder, like, how much Kristen talks to Stassi and Katie now.
I would say very little.
Yeah. I know Katie and Stassi still talk.
Yeah.
They're not like as close, obviously, as they were back then. Oddly,
No.
Stassi's like really close to Lala.
That it's got to be because they're parents, right?
Yes. It's kind of like Stassi said she like felt like she connected with Lala and Scheana because they had kids. And then I feel bad for Brittany. Jax kind of ruined that
Oh yeah.
with Brittany and Stassi because of the whole wedding thing. And I don't know, maybe Brittany could get it in with Stassi being her friend now because Jax is out.
I think Brittany has a lot of work to do, and I don't think if I were Stassi, I wouldn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I don't
Like,
think she does.
no, not at all. She
I don't
tried.
think.
She tried real hard with Brittany,
Yeah,
and
she
it
actually
was
said the
yeah.
Valley's like awful. Did you see
I,
that podcast?
yeah. Like
Yeah.
she can't even watch it, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
She's just moved on. Even though she's like really close to Lisa Vanderpump and she's on the Villa, whatever.
Yeah. Vanderpump Villa. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
also I guess they got a third season. Maybe they'll revamp what the show's about again in the third season, like they did in the second.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I would give it a whirl, but I'm like,
I think you'd probably enjoy it, but just don't expect Vanderpump Rules.
yeah, I know. And it's like everyone's trying to be Vanderpump Rules now. So it's like, no, don't try that hard.
The best show out there that's doing things better than I can think is Mormon Wives, right? Like
Yes.
and it's because, and this is what my co-host Kate says, like, it's because they're all influencers and they don't hide that they're influencers.
Right.
The show is about women who make money by posting on the internet and the drama within their lives and what comes with that. You know, the Mormon thing is a big part of it too, but really it's just like, this is our job, follow us around, this is what we do. Whereas like Vanderpump Rules, it's like almost like you try, and even the Valley, it's like we almost have to like hide that we make all of our money through Instagram ads and podcasts. And we have to like pretend that we are, you know, like bar owners and realtors and stuff.
And like not on TV. Like they
Yeah.
don't break the fourth wall. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
they have to act like we're not watching them on TV, but it's like, well, we know we're watching them on TV.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine how much better season 11 of Vanderpump Rules would have been if we actually would have like broken more fourth walls and like talked about, like, gotten more upfront interviews with Ariana, like, why aren't you filming with
Yes.
Tom, or what are we going to do instead, like talking, there's just so many ways that you could have really deconstructed that season
Yeah.
and done a lot. It's easy to say in hindsight, but like they really fucked up that season 11. It had potential to be so good, and it was so bad from
I know.
production standpoint and from like Lala Scheana not sharing things. Like, oh god, it's so bad.
Well,
Anyway,
and it made me mad because Lala never liked Sandoval, and then all of a sudden she wanted to like talk to him, and I'm like, no, I understand if Scheana wants to because she actually was friends with him, but Lala, why do you need to abandon Ariana, abandon the girl power, and you don't even like Sandoval? Like I was hoping it would all kind of be like a girl power season, and I'm like,
could
why
have
are you
been.
doing that?
Yeah, and also like this whole idea that any of these people are like best friends, because like the closest we would have gotten was Sheena and Ariana in some of the seasons towards the middle. But
Hmm.
like even if you want to say like the argument that Tom Sandoval cheated on Ariana with her best friend, in no world before season 10 did I ever consider Rachel Ariana's best friend.
I know. She probably just like did a lot with them, which I could
Yeah,
see her like leeching. And like Ariana was probably nice. I mean, her and Tom at a nice house. It's probably like,
sure.
oh, everyone come over and swim. But it's like
Yeah,
20 people are there, not just
yeah,
her.
yeah. And also, like, out of the entire cast, before Scandival, would you ever have said, "Oh yeah, Rachel, that's Ariana's best friend"?
No.
No, like
She
it's
didn't have any friends.
no.
Like she was only on the show because of James.
Yeah,
And he
and
would like
then
push her onto them and like none of them liked her. Like
I
that's why
mean,
when Scandival happened, I'm like, I already didn't like you back then. I just don't like you even more now. But like, I never liked her.
I was so excited for her to leave James at the end of season 9 and then like get a new Rachel in season 10, and then to find out all of that, it was just like, ugh, okay.
She
Like,
just always bothered me.
I did an episode which is now only behind my Patreon paywall, but it was called like Raquel Summer, and
Yeah.
like a play on, like Hot Girl Summer, and it was like me and my co-host at the time talking about like how excited we were that you know
Yeah.
Rachel's been spotted with Peter going on dates and with
Oh my God, that
Neville,
was
like,
so fake.
and
Okay, did you ever
well,
ask
it was
Peter
fake
that?
on the show, but it was real. Like they went on a date and it got posted on Dumois, and then production said, "Can we
Mm,
film a date with you?"
again.
Because we know it happened. So it was a very fake date on the show, but it based on the real date they actually went on.
Oh, poor
That's
Peter.
Yeah, and I went on. I mean, go behind my Patreon. Peter's also got his interview there where he talks about like how that happened. Um, but this isn't just a plug for my Patreon. I'm just saying like there was such potential, and it was ruined by the affair. And oh god. Anyway, we've got more scenes of the valley we got to talk about.
I know. Wait, I know we have like ADD this episode. It's so funny. This is what these people are doing to us. They're making us go
Yeah,
crazy and lose
exactly.
our train of thought. Um, so then Danny is getting upset. He's expressing he just feels like he's losing Jason as a friend, which I feel like I can totally understand where he's coming from because at the end of the day, Jason's always going to have Janet's back, not
Yeah.
Danny, or as Nia calls him, Daniel. Kristen and Luke kind of talk about the doctor. I feel so bad for her watching this season, but then it makes me even more excited to know that they do have a baby now, current day. And
Yep.
I know that's a struggle. And she's older, and I think she's just worried it's like never going to happen for them. And just always like defeated news.
Yeah. Yeah. I it's sad, but it makes a lot of sense. I get it.
Hmm. And then Jax comes over and he brings an orchid to their house because he hasn't been to their house yet. I think he stole that from himself. He regifted
Yeah.
it.
That's
I
I
feel like
said
that's the
that's
orchid Schwartz brought him.
yeah, I said that on my episode too. I'm like, I'm pretty sure like this isn't even a like I'm not going to be able to take care of this plant, so I'm going to give it to someone who can. This is a I could give a shit less, but it was a gift given to me, so it's gift worthy. I'll just bring it over to them, you know?
I'm gonna have to rewatch that episode where Schwartz brings him a flower. Like I feel
I'm
like that was
surprised
it.
Schwartz is still a plant guy. I didn't think that was going to last.
Those are his babies.
Yeah.
He is like he could open one of those like plant stores. I
Yeah,
could see
he
that in
should.
his future.
Yeah.
But he's just congratulating them on their engagement and he's like, sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it. And he said he's just been going crazy and he didn't want to throw Brittany under the bridge instead of
Yeah. Yeah.
saying the
Yeah.
bus. And I'm like, this is like Teresa Giudice. Like she never got those sayings and would always mess them up. And I'm like, that's when these people on TV, I'm like, what rock have you lived under that you
Yeah.
don't know how this very old fashioned saying goes?
Yeah, he's very stupid, and so is Brittany. But luckily, Kristen corrects him, and then they go into like actually good advice that Jax can take. They're like, we don't want to make this too complicated on you, Jax.
Mm-hmm.
You go in, you say, I would like to be able to spend time with my son. What do you need from me so that I can do that?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, don't make it more complicated than that. What do you need from me so that I can see my son? Don't go in with demands. Don't fight. What do you need from me so that I can see my son?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to it, but like whether or not Jax is faking it, whatever, he does what Luke and Kristen suggest. You know? Like he tries until the conversation spirals, but we'll get there.
I always second guess though. I'm like, I don't think he's being genuine because we have seen all the stuff he says to her on the phone through text messages
Yep.
and then verbal phone conversations.
Yep.
Like he's screaming at her when she does the photo shoot at Kristen's house for the James May t-shirts and he's like, I need the ring code password. And it's like, no, she's not giving you the ring password for your old house so then you can spy on her all over again. Like, tell the ring people you need a new account, make up a brand new email if you must, just for that ring account. Like,
Yep.
Brittany's like, I'm not dumb, Jax. And it's like, thank God she's not dumb enough to give him
Yeah. This was so frustrating for me too because yeah, Jax, you're trying to get access to the Ring camera so that like when you install your Ring camera, you can see yours, but you can also like I do it with my mom's Ring, right? Like I can see my mom's Ring camera in case anything happens. Jax doesn't need that from Brittany.
Yeah.
But the other side of this is Jax still co-owns that house. You know what I mean? Just because he's not living there doesn't mean, and I don't think that means he needs access to the Ring camera or needs to be spying on Brittany in any way, shape, or form.
Actually, I think he said he signed it over to her.
Did he? During this filming, though? I don't
Yeah.
Maybe.
During the reunion, I feel like if not, Andy will ask all that.
Yeah, because I am under the impression...
I swore he said that, though.
And look, we
allegedly,
have to pick and choose when we believe Jax too.
That is true.
But the other thing is they are not divorced. I have to believe that because Brittany only recently found out how much she owes and how to even pay the mortgage, that the house is probably still under both of their names because of his tax liens, because of all of that sort of stuff. So I'm operating under that. Please correct me, listeners, in the form of a 5-star review if I'm wrong. Now, regardless, he doesn't need access to these things, but he still has some sort of like leverage in the argument if he still co-owns the house. And Brittany, they're working through this co-parenting thing. Brittany is the one who needs to pull up her pants, figure out how the cameras work, or at least figure out how to unplug them. And you need to do a little bit of work to keep Jax off your ass. It's not victim blaming. It's just like you have the power.
Which I feel like she is.
Yeah.
He's just mad she's doing that.
Yeah, but at this point, I think it's a little like for the viewership and for the season itself, not for real life. It's too little, too late because why did it take so long? And I think it leans into this codependent relationship that they have, where it's
and
like
having a kid
and having the kid. But like just a couple weeks ago, she drunk dials Jax to complain about Kristen not being invited to Kristen's like planning of her proposal, right? So this is still the lingering thing.
Yeah, like you need to call a friend. Yeah. Phone a friend.
You need to call a friend. They need to have a mediator. They need to be calling Lala to figure out what app and mediation they used between Randall and her.
Yes.
And I don't think she wants to do that because as she's said on the show too, she still loves Jax. It's just hard for her to break it off completely. And even when Jax is talking to like Schwartz and some other people where it's like, do we really need to actually get divorced? It's like, yes.
Oh my God. When he said it though, can we put a pin in it? Bitch, you just moved. What do you mean put a pin in it? Yeah, I think it's also, pretty done.
Jax, you don't love Brittany anymore. You just have an ego. And I said this on my pod too, but it's like you have this ego that you just don't want to get dumped. It like makes you feel like a loser.
Truth.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You're both fucking losers if you stay in this relationship any longer. Cut it off.
Yeah. I know. And I think he just can't handle that she has done so. But like you said, they do need to use that app because I get it. She does have to talk to him. And that's what he sucks her in with, I think. Like, oh, I need to call you about Cruz. And then he starts yapping his mouth about something else. And it's like, nope, don't need to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Yep, exactly. And it's just depressing because like I posted something, a rumor about Brittany not being on, and like the amount of people that come on TikTok and like, I mean, are so mean about like, well, Brittany deserves to be kicked off because of this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, I don't really like Brittany either, but a lot of the things that people are arguing for are not like Brittany's fault at all. And there's a lot of projection of other things. And you can trace the root back to like how Jax has treated her. Yeah. Should she have dumped him years ago? Yes. But that's really easy to say now, right? Like,
and I think when they got off of TV, he probably was a little normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that they realized like we may never get back on TV ever again.
Yeah, and they had their son, and it's like, okay. And then like COVID, so they weren't going out. So it was probably like very chill. Yeah. And then once the Valley, I was like, oh, he's going to get crazy again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like his eyes were just
has welcomed him back, and that is the camera.
Yeah. But then Kristen is saying she wanted to throw Janet off the boat, as we all probably did. And she's just so hateful, and she couldn't even stand it when she brought up the sexual assault comment. And I get why this puts Brittany in a hard position because she is friends with Janet. But even if you're friends with someone, my belief is if it's wrong, being a good friend is telling them. So you could still be Janet's friend, but you're also Nia, Danny, Jasmine, like they're friends. So you should say, Janet, that's not nice. That's what you should have said that night on the boat.
Yeah, well, and a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Brittany does not have the strength to do that. And the problem here is we know from Vanderpump Rules past, like Brittany will not go to therapy because she doesn't like to talk about bad stuff. And that is a total through line to, well, I don't want to talk about my friends because that's bad. I just want to have fun with them. And that is, I think Brittany is got a ball of stress inside of her that is about to explode, which is why it like comes out in these bursts with Jax. Deservedly so, most of the time with Jax, because that's where she can direct it. But I think Brittany is. This is the season setting up Brittany's villain era, and I think if she's still on the show next season, that's going to be her storyline. Is everyone being like, "Oh, Brittany said that to you? Well, she said this to me," and they're going to start putting pieces together. If she's not being a very good friend, you know.
I could see it with Zach and Kristen because, like, the last episode that we're going to get, he's going to get upset. And out of all of them, she needs to be 100% true to Zach. That's her Kentucky friend. Before TV, you know? That's a real friend.
Yep. And I used to not like Zach at all. I've like heard rumors of his behavior outside, and like he seemed kind of odd, but like the way he's been acting in season 2, he's growing on me a lot. And
I know. I like him. And you know who's growing on me though? Like Jesse. Because like I think he's a douche. I'm not saying I won't be married to him by any means.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Michelle. And I'm sorry. I know some people think he's really stretching for that like correlation and doing all the math. And I feel like he's like in the basement with like the lines, the like connecting the dots. Yeah. Seeing if Michelle and Bug-Eyed Aaron had an affair. They did. I'm not texting a man about honey.
No.
I'm not getting a man's phone number. I'm married. Like,
and even if it's not a sexual affair, like I believe it was a total emotional affair. You know?
Yeah, and she admitted to kissing somebody, so she already kind of had the mindset of, oh, it's over in my brain with Jesse. I could cheat on him.
Yep. I think you're right. I think Jesse is 100% should never use the words that he's used against Michelle. Like that is crossing so many boundaries and lines. But he's a great TV villain, and he's a great TV villain without being terrifying the way Jax has been this season.
Right. And even Jesse thinks Jax was bad. You can tell when they sit down.
Yeah. And, when he sat down with him and he was just like, it's because you have no emotional regulation. When the villain is telling someone they have no emotional regulation, you are beyond being a villain on the show.
And that's a narcissist. Like, narcissists don't have feelings. And that's what Brittany said later.
What is it? It comes into this bigger thing, and I know I keep citing my podcast, but I just think that my co-host Kate said something so smart the other day that she's like, she's way smarter than me, so we're just going to put that out there. So I'm just repeating what a smart person said. Bravo needs to go back to the drawing board on a lot of these shows because, first of all, the audience, a lot of people on like Reddit and social media will like say they want a show to be a certain way, but it's not what they've like over the years have actually shown themselves to like. And, you know, to quote her, like the Jack stuff was fun in 2014 because he was crazy and we liked watching a crazy coked out bad boyfriend, right? But like post Me Too movement, post Trump elections, post other like big social things where we're kind of going like, oh yeah, like this is bad behavior, right? We need to like clean up our side of the street. It just doesn't work the same way, especially, you know, in my dumb guy brain, it's also like, yeah, that, but also like, I don't want to see a guy in his like almost 50 years old acting like a 30-year-old who's cheating on his girlfriend, right?
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's like, you guys are getting older, so like your behavior, like we all used to act a certain way when we were young, but like we're supposed to not act like that anymore.
Yeah. When Jax's takeaway from coming out of the facility was, I actually don't have a problem with alcohol. I have a problem with rage. I was like, okay, so you definitely weren't in a rehab center. Got it.
He was in like a mental health one.
Yeah. And that, I mean, we kind of figured that when only sometimes they called it rehab when it fit the argument better.
I guess it's still considered rehab.
Sure.
But I'm like, I think of rehab of like,
about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was talked about in the terms of like, alcoholic and drug rehab when it was around the topic of drugs. It was mental health facility when it was rage. It was, you know what I mean? Like they really blurred the lines there.
Well, then he's like, I don't have a drinking problem. I have a coke problem. But I'm like, no, you're Carl from Summer House. You
Yeah.
drink and then probably do coke. So you have a drinking problem as well. That's why Carl doesn't drink.
You have an addiction problem.
Yes.
And this is coming from me. I'm a sober person, right? Like, granted, I was never a Jax, but like, I don't drink booze anymore. I don't do drugs anymore because guess what? My body doesn't like it. I mean, my brain really likes it, but it is not the person I want to be. And Jax is still on that. Like, I'm not, like, taking his inventory or anything, but like, Jax seems to be a person who wants to like have clearly defined lines so that he can still party, right? Like that's my
right.
theory. Like I just need to figure out my rage so I can still go party at the bar I own.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No.
That was really, I think, the downfall and demise of the relationship, him having that, because you have to be there, and that's not conducive for having a child.
No. He needs to... Look, I think Jax has the potential to be a good father if he takes true accountability for his actions and stops like worrying about everything else. I don't necessarily think he's ever going to do it, but I'd love to be proven wrong, because I do think it's in there somewhere. He just hasn't learned, and he's surrounding himself with people who are not helping him.
I know. When Jesse came over to talk to him, I think that was filmed when he first moved in.
Yeah,
because like he really didn't have anything in his house. And did he not look hungover to you? He looked like a mess, hungover.
Yeah.
Jesse looked prim and proper, and they were both just talking about how sad and miserable their lives are. Jesse said he's in all this debt, but it's like, well, I think it's because you're living a champagne life on a beer budget. Not even a beer budget, but like a seltzer budget,
He's got lifestyle creep, like
he needs to just marry like an older lady that maybe her husband died and left her a bunch of money. Like I see that vibe.
Maybe he could go on Housewives of OC and like weasel his way in there.
Well, his girlfriend, I don't know if they're still together, lives in Orange County.
Hey.
Well, that could be a good one.
It would be.
Yeah,
cool.
my guess is they wouldn't be either.
Yeah.
He can't stay with anyone. But so then he's just talking about all the debt they're in and blah, 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 blah. But then Jax puts on his button-down shirt and his khaki pants to go and look like how Jesse did, all prim and proper, and talk to Brittany. He's like American Psycho. Like, he acts this way in front of us because it's being filmed. And guarantee you, that's why Brittany is just like, I loved this scene because this is just like the scene at the beginning when he went to rehab. 0 Fs. I'm not protecting you. And I think his face is like, I can't believe she's saying this on camera. Because she's like, how many Xanax did you take before you came over here? Like, she's just calling him out.
I will also agree that I'm glad she calls him out. I am not here to defend Jax in any way. But the thing that confuses me in this scene is we don't want Jax going over there and screaming at Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not over there screaming. He is trying to stay calm and rational. And whether or not he has other intentions behind him, we'll never know. We can astutely assume through patterns, but we don't know. What we see on camera is him being calm and wanting to talk to Brittany. But that doesn't work either, right? So he can't scream. He can't be calm. Jax is in a lose-lose scenario here that he's made for himself, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany is pissed because she obviously has a lot of healing to do. And she wants to point out that, no, you haven't done anything you said you were going to do. You've been partying all the time. Why would I leave Cruz with you? And then where I kind of lose it with Brittany is that instead of sticking to Jax, I need you to do this, this, and this if we're going to be good co-parents, She goes, Cruz is never going over to your place because there's going to be nasty women there. Doesn't matter who Jax sees.
Yeah.
If you don't want Cruz over there, tell Jax what he needs to do to be able to co-parent. Like, this is where the argument gets lost, because now Jax can be like, it doesn't matter who I date. We're not together, right? You don't know who I'm dating. You may not have liked the woman I dated before, but I'm not dating her now. And you're just theorizing and blaming women on something that isn't what this is about. I came over here calm to talk about co-parenting, and Brittany's obviously riled up. She needs to she needs to go to therapy because Jax has done a number on her. Mm-hmm. But this is the point where I want to be like, Brittany, you need to they need a mediator. We've already talked about that. But also, you need to stick strictly to the facts, because that's the only way that this is going to work out without you screaming at each other. And unfortunately, they are just, neither one of them are there yet. And I think, I hate to say it, but when Jax is sitting there and gets up and it's like, okay, I'm going to leave. And Brittany's like, and you're going to pay half the bills. And you're going to do all this. And he's like, okay, I already am paying half the bills. She's like, and you don't get to see Cruz at all. Then he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to sign divorce papers that say you get sole custody if we're not going to be co-parenting or working towards any sort of co-parenting thing. Like, I think there's so much more going on.
I think there's like a lot. I think there's a lot we don't know. Yes. And not that I'm only just siding with the woman.
No. But I think that Brittany has.
But I think Jax doesn't pay her $1. And therefore, she's like, that's the part that gets, hard. Like, well, you don't deserve to see him if you're not going to pay for him. But also, it's like, why should I even trust you to see him when, 5 days out of this rehab, you're drinking at the bar, doing drugs again, and getting your hair cut? That was gross. He's like, I didn't get to see my son. And he acts like that's Brittany's fault. It's like, this second you get out of that janky rehab, which, by the way, he could leave every day. So I'm like, I don't know what rehab this was, but
I know.
It was like a hotel, I feel like.
Yeah. I just wish, and this probably is a product of editing too. Like I said, if they're going to try and give Brittany a villain edit, then why would you edit it to make her be coherent in this scene? Mm-hmm. I believe, and I agree with everything you're saying. Like, I would be livid if I was in Brittany's shoes too, but don't give them any inch. Be like, when I see consistent bills being paid, when I see consistency and don't hear about you getting trashed at the bar, when I see this, then we can start working towards co-parenting. Mm-hmm. But until then, I'm not just going to say yes, but instead, it's just so tough seeing them argue when they can't reach any sort of middle ground.
Because also the fact that she's in that house paying $18,000 a month, only because before they got married, it was, okay, Jax hasn't paid his taxes. He's like, the situation, you either need to go to jail or we're going to tack it onto your house, like your mortgage.
Yeah.
And obviously she's like, well, I guess tack it onto there. Well, now when you're not going to be married to him, she's stuck with his bills. So the fact that he told Jesse, I already wrote her a check for all that. I'm sure you did not, because where would $300,000 come from? I'm just making up a number, but I'm just thinking no, if you haven't been paying your taxes for years and years and years, which I don't even understand how that happens. No, it's probably more than that. And their son has special needs.
Yeah.
So the fact that Brittany is paying for all that by herself, like I said, again, not that it's nice, she's going to hold seeing the kid against him, but it's obviously you don't care to pay the bills with her. You'd rather buy cocaine.
Well, and this is the sort of thing that we never get. This is the fourth wall breaking that we need. Find out from Brittany. We need an interview with Brittany that is what do you need from Jax? If she,
I'm ready for the reunion.
Yeah. If it can't be said in the heat of the moment because they are so frustrated with one another, I wish there would have been an upfront, a camera talking head where she's just he needs to do this, this, and this. Even if she's coached by production, like, I want to know the list. I want to know what it's going to take for Jax to actually be able to be in Cruz's life. Not because I necessarily think he deserves it, but I want to know the stakes. You know, I want to know what is on the line here and like how it can or can't be achieved.
So she
Because
drug tests him. That's what she says now.
yeah,
Because, like, on the after show, it's more current day, or
yeah,
if she's
yeah,
on a podcast. So she said she drug tests him, which that's fine and normal. And I would do that too. Like, I guess what my thought is it could be worse for Jax. Like, Brittany could not even give him any chances. If they went to court right now, 100%, he would lose custody.
oh yeah,
And see, they will have to go to court, I think, if she's going to stay in the house, because what she will want to happen, like you said, if his name's still in the house, he will have to sign the deed over to her, because he could show up one night and say, well, I don't have to leave because this
yeah,
is my house.
exactly.
So I'm sure they're going to court for that.
Yeah. And I hope she doesn't have to get riddled with his tax burden, even though I
Yes, because
guess,
I'm curious what will happen with that. Like, if it's
yeah,
his personal taxes, because I think they were filing separately, because
yeah,
married people do that.
yeah.
Once he's off the house, I'd be like, can you put my mortgage back to like 8,000, like tack it on to his condo
I
mortgage?
I don't think they'll be able to do that.
Oh,
And
see,
but
that's
of
what
course,
I'm curious about.
yeah, I am very curious. I would, but like, this is not. They
Because, like, I'm
talk
not
about like
paying your
Brittany's like, this is my
taxes.
dream home. This is not a dream home. This is a nice home,
Do you know
but
why I think
this
she
is,
doesn't want to move, though? Cruise.
yeah,
Because
I agree.
when you're divorced, I mean, he's 4, I have a 4-year-old. So when you get divorced, you want to make minimal changes, but also, since he's autistic and has sensory
Yeah,
issues, I think
and
putting
love
him in a new
swimming.
house,
Yeah,
yeah. And I mean, it was hard enough she had to bring him to that Airbnb. So I think she's like being the mama bear, like, I'm going to do everything
I
I
bet you're right.
can
Yeah,
to
I,
keep
that
him in
makes
this
sense.
house,
It
more so
totally
for
makes
him than
sense.
herself, you know?
Yeah, I, I think I get so worked up with some of this too because it's like, it's so easy for us to sit in front of the screen and be like, "You're not arguing correctly," you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, I'm never articulate in an argument myself. You know, like
Yeah.
I can never be good. And it's like it's like when you're, I don't know if you watch Seinfeld, but like when George gets made fun of by the guy in the office and he's driving home and he's like, jerk store. That's what I should have said. The jerk store
Yeah.
called, you know?
You always like think of something
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. But I
But she
am,
tells Jax that he ruined their family already.
yeah.
She's
I
like,
mean,
you're a
that was a good one.
narcissist. You don't feel pain. I mean, yeah, I think he's just so dumb that he thinks, like, after all this, if he just goes to a couple therapy sessions, he can move right back in and it'll be fine. It's like, no,
I
go to
also
therapy for
think,
yourself, please.
yeah. I also think him and like guys like him, like James and stuff, these like angry men on these shows feel justified in their anger because of all the bad stuff that's happened to them, and they want to say, why can't people understand how bad I've felt?
Mm-hmm.
Because they've never had to show any signs of empathy for anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone once told me, and I've said this a million times on my show, but like everyone is the main character of the movie they're directing in their own head, right?
I like that
And
one.
some people realize that's the way everyone thinks. Like some people, like I know that in your head, you're the main star of the movie that's being directed, right? And in your
Mm-hmm.
kid's head, that's the same way. In your husband's head, that's the same way. And I know that about everyone else, so it informs how I talk to other people. But I think people like Jax and James have never made that click. They're just the main character of their life. And why don't people understand why I'm feeling this certain way? The world revolves around me. But if they took a moment to
Mm-hmm.
go, oh, that's what Stassi thinks. Oh, that's what Brittany thinks. That's what Cruz thinks. That's what, you know what I mean? They would go,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not special in this sort of way. Everyone has a struggle. And I need to realize that everyone's going through something, whether it's a mountain or a molehill, and I'm not going to be the focus of their life the same way they're not the focus of my life. And
Right.
I don't think Jax will ever be that way, but if he did, it would save him a lot of headache.
I know. And I wonder if he's still going to be at BravoCon
I think so. I
because he was
think,
on the list.
yeah, I think he's going to be there.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be like here's Jax's time to explain how his journey's going.
And we'll all be like, Bill.
Yeah. And then whether or not they have an angle on it, they'll tell us if he'll be back for season 4.
I know. I'm just so excited that we get a reunion this season with the Valley because
Yeah.
they did them a lot of unjust by
Yeah.
not giving them a reunion. I thought that was stupid. We
It's
had
so
just
weird.
gotten Jesse and Michelle officially saying they're getting divorced. And we had Jax and Brittany. We had to pick cameras back up because they said they were separated. And then we're not going to have a reunion? Okay. Like, that makes no sense.
Very weird.
Like, we gave the Real Housewives of New York a reunion. That was bad.
Ugh. Well, I don't even know, like, what after the Valley's over, like, are we only getting, like, Housewives until the next slate of...
Oh, when do you think Vanderpump Rules, like, remake is coming out?
Well, that's what I'm wondering because they finished principal filming, like, in May.
Oh,
and
I bet
now
that's
I
going
think
to be
they're
next
doing
time.
some, like, pickups, and I'm sure they have a reunion to film. Well, I guess they went to the reunion until the show starts actually airing.
Yeah, they always wait.
Yeah. But, you know, we've really heard nothing about it except for, like, tabloid stuff.
I
So
know.
the only theory I've heard is that we're going to get a trailer for it at BravoCon because there's no way they're going to start showing
That's like a
it.
long time from now, though. That's the middle of November.
I know. And so if we get a trailer in November, like, are we not
It'll come on January.
in January, right? Like, so I don't think we'll get Vanderpump until January.
But then we'll be getting, like, Summer House. So Summer House is filming right now.
Summer House is filming now.
That'll be, like, spring. So when do you think Southern Charm is going to come back?
Well, they just recently wrapped filming of their season. It's July. So I'm guessing October, maybe, or November.
Okay.
And at earliest September. But also, I'm really looking forward to Southern Hospitality, which is currently filming. So,
and see, I don't watch that one.
Oh, that's my favorite Bravo
I know.
show.
I do want to kind of start watching that.
You got to, and I'll tell you, I have covered all 3 seasons on my podcast with incredible guests. You will have fun listening to those episodes after you watch each.
I feel like I should watch it and I'll listen to your podcast before I go to BravoCon, so I know who more people 100%.
Are. 100%. It is like the... I think that where Southern Hospitality is what they're like, oh shit, we need to start next gen, like now. Because
how do you feel about that?
I haven't been watching it. Everyone tells me
it's either.
Great. Everyone tells me it's great.
Yeah.
But I am weary of it. I do not care about any of the cast members. So
same.
Yeah. Whereas
so then I'm like, why do I want to watch it?
Yeah. But I've Southern Hospitality. Incredible. Some of the best people I've ever seen on Bravo. Some of the best moments. Incredible. Like it is.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
Shorter seasons. So
I like
I'm hoping
that.
we get a longer season in season 4. But man, like season 2, there's like a guy he's a terrible like dude, but like he has an OnlyFans account and he goes by the Milkman, and it's just ridiculous. He pours milk on himself.
Ew.
And but like that's the level of like insanity that's on this show.
That's crazy.
In season 3, there's like all this drama with one of the relationships. Like a guy goes off to law school and obviously cheats on his girlfriend, and then she's like insane because she doesn't want to believe it. And like all these people are like very unique personalities, and it is incredible. But if that's filming now, we probably won't get it till the fall. And I think they don't want to pair up Southern Hospitality with new Vanderpump crew because that's also going to be young people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a
They
feeling
got to spread it all out.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to go Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality, Vanderpump.
Oh, we have the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills too.
Oh, they're in a different
filming right now
for me.
That's true. That is true.
But also you're right. You know, these are all going to be having to come out at some point.
Oh, and Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We don't. My theory.
Be another year for that show, though.
And I think Jersey won't come back.
Yeah, or they'll take a hiatus for a while.
I think Rhode Island is going to replace it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is sad.
I look forward to it. You know, I would say your next binge should be Southern Hospitality, just because it is a show to have on your radar. You're gonna want to be following what's going on with that cast on social right now because they are filming, and it's gonna be. I think it'll be useful for your socials for sure.
And I'm wondering what's happening with Austin and his girlfriend. So he was on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy was like, "Are you guys still together?" And he's like, "Well, you'll have to watch the next season." I'm like, "Well, wait, what?"
I think she's probably coming on the show.
Really?
Yeah, because
I think they're still together though. So I'm like, why are you saying it like that?
Well, because he's stupid. But
I know my husband doesn't like him or Craig, and I'm like, yeah, but
I hate Craig.
But pick between the two, I'm picking Austin.
Same.
We're all leaving Craig out to pasture, and I can't wait to see this season of Southern Charm because of the Paige fallout. Do you think he chat GPT that ring? I think that was fake. I agree with Paige. She's like, there is no ring, Lindsay.
I don't think he did that because he just has it's too easy for Craig to be able to make a ring happen for a photo. But
he could chat GPT it though.
Yeah, but AI imagery is pretty easy to detect. I think Craig is the sort of guy, he even said he uses ChatGPT for his therapy. And it's like, Craig, I don't need you burning acres of the rainforest because you don't want to spend your money on a real therapist. He's a stupid man, and he wants something that reinforces what he already believes, and that's what ChatGPT will do if you use it as a therapist.
Yeah, I just don't understand why when that rumor came out right away, he wasn't like, here's the ring, here's the receipt, here's a picture of me buying the ring in the store. Yeah, well, it took months for him to show us a ring on a nightstand with a timestamp. You could have done that.
He has to think these things through, and he can't just be silent. He doesn't
have that girlfriend anymore.
No, and it would speak volumes if he just moved on, but he's pathetic and he can't even do that. It sucks.
I know. People were like, I wonder if him and Naomi will get back together. I'm like, no.
Run for the hills, Naomi, if that's
I think she has a boyfriend. It would be interesting to get her back on the show, though.
I would love that. I saw her.
And I miss Olivia.
Some other people. Oh, yeah, Olivia. I don't really miss Olivia.
She didn't do that much, but I miss her. I liked her.
You know who they need to bring back on Southern Charm?
Oh, what's her face?
Catherine Dennis.
Yeah. Yes.
And in a perfect world, Thomas Ravenel.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think we'd have to pick one or the other because there would probably be a restraining order in place. So I'd pick her.
Yeah, same. I mean, the show, when she left, the show was a different show completely. Mm-hmm. And they aren't look, they are terrible people, but it was still great TV.
I know. I do like Madison though.
Oh, well, that makes one of us.
Oh, you don't like Madison?
I don't like Madison. I don't dislike Madison, but I think Madison and I hold different we have a different belief system. And I think that is coming out with Madison, and I think Madison is a little too curated for me. We're getting the Scheana production head out of Madison, whereas I think Madison operates a lot better when she's not trying to do it for the camera, right? So
yeah.
I think I could like Madison on TV if it wasn't as calculated.
Well, she'll have the baby now. And then JT will be gone. Thank God.
Yeah. JT had a moment where he could have been good.
Mm-hmm.
But it totally went away. And like his like fake fights with Vanita was just, I can't, that was so bad.
Ew, and like what a loser having a girlfriend, leading Vanita on like that.
But also, I think that like,
that was weird. All that timeline was weird.
An agreement before the season to be like, look, we need to have a storyline or we're going to get cut from this show.
I mean, true, too.
I think they did that, and I think it went haywire. And it was so like this last season of Southern Charm too was like so bad. Like,
yeah, I really only cared about like seeing Paige on it because like we knew they were broken up, so I'm like paying attention.
yeah, exactly. And then I don't know. I look forward to coming back when these shows happen again, and we can rehash our updated thoughts on it.
I know. Well, thanks for coming on, Rob.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Tell everyone where they can find you. Yeah.
Socials, it's Vanderpump Robs, wherever you like. If you're on TikTok, it's actually like Robs. But you can listen to the podcast, Vanderpump Robs, wherever you get your podcasts. I gave my PSA at the top of the episode. But if you actually want to like support the show and listen to the episodes and all the bonus content, ad-free video, I have a Patreon, and that's patreon.com/VanderpumpRobs. For $5, you get everything. So I had a lot of fun. I hope we can do it again soon.
I know. We'll have to recap another show. And if you come to BravoCon, let me know.
I know. I got to figure out if I want to spend the money. And if I do, but I might make my way to Vegas during BravoCon, see if I can sneak in a back door. I live pretty close, so I will definitely let you know. I'm also working on potentially doing a live podcast during BravoCon, and I hope I can make that happen. And so I'll definitely let you know.
That would be fun if you do that. Give me a holler. Maybe We'll get Craig on there.
Oh, yes.
All right. That's it for today, everybody. You can find me at Bravo T with a stay-at-home mom, back on my regular TikTok. Well, my new regular TikTok and Instagram. And I will be posting this everywhere: Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Bye. Thanks. Perfect.